It's a new day, and the Marvels just continues to just plummet at the box office. It's astounding how badly this movie is being just dragged through the mud, but this is the current state of the MCU. There is no pretending that this isn't happening. There's no acting like this isn't something that's going on. This is the state of the MCU. This is what we're getting. This is the quality, and fans are just fed up of it. They're walking away because they're sick of this nonsense. Let's take a look at the numbers for it again. It's abysmal. A worldwide box office of 116 million. And this is going into week 3. This is what it is. The domestic box office is 53 million. The international box office is 62 million. People are not showing up for it at all. That just the word of mouth is already spreading about how bad this movie is, and it's hurting it at the box office. Let's take a look at it. This is the days that it's there, and this is the amount that is up. From the starting off, we ended up making out 6.6 million. That was it. When they make 21 million, then it dropped to 15, and then dropped to 9, and then dropped to 2. It went back up to 3 for a little bit, and then it was back down to 1 million, 1.7 million. So by November 15th, the week of November 15th, it's now dropped 46%, and it's still in over 4,030 theaters. Understand me? And this is the amount that is being spent per theater. It started off at 5,361. It's dropped all the way down to 444, sorry. And this is just domestic box office. We don't have any numbers for the we don't put exactly for the international, but it's not doing any better because the international box office is only 62 million and the domestic box office is 53. Like I'm saying, this movie will be lucky if it struggles and makes it to 300 million in its entire run. It'll be lucky if it makes it that far, honestly. But with all of this staring people in the face, all of this showing how badly this movie is performing, well, it's time to start the blame game. And remember, it's never anybody's fault that's associated with this movie. Well, now, it's time to blame the men. Yep, because this movie is bombing hard. Blame the men. You understand me? This movie was clearly made for women or like 12-year-old girls or something. But, blame the men. Because the women didn't show up. The men didn't show up. So blame the men. Let's get into this article here from Bounding into Comics. Heather Antos, Gail, Simone, and Kelly Sue DeConnick encourage their fans to see the Marvels. They mean individuals with opposing opinions. Considering you have Heather Antos, Gail, Simone, and Kelly Sue DeConnick coming out and saying that should tell you how bad this whole thing's setting up to be. The women in comics are out in force defending the honor of the Marvels movie, which failed spectacularly at the box office for its opening weekend, but it hasn't gotten any better since its opening weekend. Heather Antos, Gail, Simone, Kelly Sue DeConnick, and others are actively trying to gatekeep fan opinions, imploring them to see the movie and to be quiet about their criticisms of the Marvel Cinematic Universe in what appears to be a coordinated narrative on behalf of women in the comic industry. And that ain't working. It's embarrassing and kind of funny to watch them do that, but it ain't working. Really ain't working. For the past few days, excuses have been made for why the Marvels underperformed. Well, I could tell them because it's a shitty movie. The MCU is full of crap, and they did this to themselves. Simple as that. No, that can't be it. Like most recent MCU offerings, Disney shills pushed back on the fans, calling them sexist, misogynist, and more. Yes, the minute you have a problem with a movie being terrible, you're sexist and misogynist. You're supposed to love something that's terrible. just so you want call these is and this is and that is and whatever. And these terms mean nothing anymore. They really and truly mean nothing anymore. Nobody cares. Literally nobody cares, because you have used them to the extent now people just roll their eyes and look at you for what you really are. That's it. One writer for Screen Rant implied it was some problem with men rather than the movie itself. Let's see what she had to say. This is here, Tessa Smith. It's really interesting to me that it's all men who very are actively hating on the Marvels. The movie isn't perfect. Read my review for my thoughts, but it doesn't deserve the hate many men are giving it. No, let me stop you right there. Yes, you're right with the movie not being perfect. The movie isn't the movie is terrible. But and yes, you have men who are saying that the movie isn't good, and have women saying the movie isn't good. But you have to understand, the core audience is men. That's who Marvel and Marvel-related stuff is made for. The core audience is men. So when you turn around and say that, listen, this movie isn't made for men, and then you're upset when men don't show up or men don't like it, because who is you trying to market this movie to? Your core audience is your core audience, and you choose not to do anything or not to have your core audience actually doing something in regards to this. You're screwing yourselves over, and rather than take some responsibility for it, you're coming out here to say, oh, the men are the problem. Well, good luck for you with that. This set the stage for a narrative formed by the leaders of a recent feminist movement in the comic industry. The Marvels became a cause for them to champion, not just a regular film on the screen. Gail Simone took to X the evening of the Marvels release to shame fans criticizing how bad the Marvels production was. This is what she had to say. Good Lord, let people like things. You could like whatever the hell you want. That's not a problem. You could like whatever you want, but if something is bad, it's bad. If people like it, okay, but that doesn't change anything. In fact, the matter is, if you have two people that say, okay, I like this, it's a good movie, all right. Then you have 2 million people saying this is terrible. Who are you really supposed to go with? The two people have the right to have their opinion and like whatever they want. That's their business. When you have 2 million people saying it's terrible, and that's just the tip of the iceberg when I say 2 million, you have to go with the majority of people and what they're saying. It's that simple. It was unclear who this subtweet referred to, but the timing made it sound like it involved the Marvels. The only problem, however, is not many people are posting that they like the Marvels, at least not many people outside of those with mainstream comics jobs, yeah, because they have to shill hard to keep those jobs that pay them nothing. That's what they have to do. They have to shill hard for it. Hypocritically, Simone would mock people expressing their loss of interest in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. She responded to one person expressing such an opinion. Okay, so what the person that was saying. Honestly, I have lost interest in the MCU for ages now. Okay, maybe it's a good and fun film, but I won't be watching it. Yeah, a lot of people have walked away from it. I know some people who say that, after Endgame they were done. They didn't care to say anything after that. I know some people who said that they held on for a little while, and then Black Widow came along and they were like, nah, that's it for me. This is terrible. This is terrible. I know some people who dropped Marvel and the MCU like last year. They figured, you know what, this was just terrible last year. I'm done with this, and they were out. That was it. A lot of people are just done with it. Gail Simone then responded, important news, in a sarcastic way. The other person, Emma, then went on to say, called an opinion. It's what adults express regularly on this platform. If you want to respond stupidly, then that's your choice, of course, and reflects on your character. I'm just lucky you didn't accuse me of some kind of misogyny for not wanting to watch yet another MCU film. Well, I'm sure she really did accuse you of that in some way or another. But that is the thing about it. When you express your opinion and say that, you know what, it might be a fun movie, but I have no interest in watching it, you become the enemy. That's why I keep saying you cannot ever please these people. They are determined to go after anybody who doesn't join in on their madness. So what did Gail Simone respond? Maybe this is a good and fun tweet, but I won't be reading it. Yeah, very mature, Gail Simone, very mature. Then battled Heather Antos, group editor of licensing at IDW Publishing. I surprised IDW Publishing is still around, honestly. This is what she had to post. The Marvels is the most fun I've had at a superhero film in a very long time. Do not miss out. I don't know if she watched it. I really can't say. I don't know if she watched it. But honestly, in my opinion, it seems hard like she's shilling for that. That's what it seems like to me. She is shilling hard for this movie because you couldn't watch it and say this is the most fun I've ever had at a superhero film in a very long time, because no, this movie was just terrible. But you know, if she did, she did. But I'm just saying it seems to me like she is shilling hard for this. Yep, shilling hard. The post tried to instill some sort of fear in her fans that if they didn't see it, they would somehow be unable to see the movie when it inevitably hits Disney Plus in a couple of months, if it takes that long. The Marvels is not a limited commodity, so it doesn't make sense unless she's pointing out that the film is bound to be out of theaters in short order. I wouldn't doubt that. I really wouldn't doubt that. The implication is the movie is failing and people like Antos are being called upon in a desperate attempt to promote it. Antos will also retweet Jesse Earl, implying individuals who do not like Marvel Studios turning into the MCU as racist and misogynist. Yes, of course. Of course. This is it. So this Jesse Earl is responding to a post that Chris Gore put up. What Chris Gore said is that turning Marvel and Star Wars into girl brands will prove to be one of the costliest decisions in entertainment history. Very true. Very, very true. You understand? It's very true. This is what they've done, and they are losing billions of dollars and don't want to stop. So what did this Jesse Earl person have to say? And they really Jesse gender, jeez, father. This is what Jesse Earl had to say. Half the reason these franchises still exist is because women kept them alive. Wait, that is what you go with as your starter? Okay. When they were dormant and go to see them alongside men, when it's men focused. But heaven effing forbid you watch a single movie with a woman in the lead role, let alone one with two non-white leads. Now let me discredit Jesse Earl and the nonsense here. This line about half the reason these franchises still exist is because women kept them alive. That's wrong. That's very, very wrong. You look at the numbers, more men went to see these movies than women. More men read comics than women. You then go on to see when they were dormant and go to see them alongside men when it's men focused. No, they went to see them along with men when the story was good. That is what you're not getting at. When these stories are good, you see race, gender, and whatever else. That's what you see. What the audience sees is good stories, interesting characters, great action, all wrapped together in a good movie. That's what they see. This is why they go. So yes, men and women will go, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, whatever, will go and watch these movies. I know women who will go and watch them because they are fans of it. And I know women who will say they will never go and watch the Marvel because it's garbage. They want to see these movies, but then you turn around now to say, but effing But heaven forbid, you watch a single movie with a woman in the lead role, let alone one with two non-white leads. You can have movies starring women and they can be really good, but you're not doing that. You're here saying that, people are supposed to want to watch these movies because it have women in the lead roles, not because the movies are actually good. That's your problem right there. You are exposing yourself and saying that, the movies are not good, but you should still want to watch them because you don't want to be called some kind of misogynist or sexist or racist. But finally, Kelly Sue DeConnick made her plea for the Marvels. DeConnick is the woman who took the beloved Carol Danvers' Ms. Marvel character and turned her into Captain Marvel in the comic books, which soon became a mockery because of the androgynous way she was depicted, with many critics calling her Carol Manvers to mock it. Kelly Sue DeConnick is also the same woman who goes and say, if you don't like my politics, don't buy my books. And when her books plummeted, she was begging people to come back and read them. That's it. She stated, P.S. Go see the Marvels and do it this weekend if you can. Well, nobody listened to you. She wanted the audience to boost the opening weekend numbers, but not many saw the film as it posted the lowest opening weekend in MCU history. These women in comics are trying as hard as they can to shill for the MCU to turn into a feminist propaganda series, but their impact is as poor as the sales of the books they worked on when they first transformed comics into what these movies are becoming. So, barely anything to talk about at the box office and failing miserably. So let's blame all the men for not showing up to the movie that you made all about women. You were trying to market to women. When the women didn't show up, the men didn't show up. But you know what? Blame the men because that makes sense. This movie is failing, and it's failing because it's garbage. That's it. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments. You have a different opinion. I'd love to hear it. If you like the video, should hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Ring the notification bell to notify every time I upload a new video. And I shall see you all next time. Take care.